The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. This is Rajiv from Quihill Technologies. Thank you for joining us at this webinar on data privacy. The webinar will be presented by Mr. Nikhil More. Nikhil is an online marketing manager at Quihill Technologies Private Limited. He has 8 years of experience into digital marketing and a passion for technology, usability, and photography. Nikhil is also a recognized expert in internet marketing strategies for the antivirus industry. At Quihill, Nikhil is associated with the Cybersecurity Program, which is the company's corporate social responsibility initiative. I'll hand over the mic to Nikhil. I hope you have a good webinar.
Thank you very much, Rajiv, for this warm welcome, and good morning one and all. Today's webinar is on what is data privacy. Now, this is a little technical topic, and I would like the audience to make a note of a few things. We will answer all your questions. Whatever you have, we would love to answer all your questions. Just make a note of the questions, probably a note of the slide on which you have the question, and you can write to our team at corporatecommunications@quickheal.co.in. I will also be sharing this email address at the last slide of today's presentation. I would also like to inform all our attendees today that we would be sharing with you a video recording of this webinar along with the presentation, which would be hosted on SlideShare. I would also be sharing the link of the SlideShare and the last slide of today's presentation. So without adding to further delay, let's begin with what is data privacy. The topics that we would be discussing today is what is data privacy, basic information, or types of information which come under privacy concerns, common sources of data information, most brutal data breaches in 2014, the Indian scenario when it comes to data privacy, the Information Technology Amendment Act for 2008, the do's and don'ts to protect your data privacy. Last but the most important, how can Quihill help you? Let's begin. What is data privacy? Now, let me make this definition a little simple for you. Data privacy is also called as information privacy. It is the aspect of information technology that deals with the ability of an individual or a company or an organization to determine what data which is included in which is stored in a computer system can be shared with third parties. Now, privacy concerns they arise when there is a personal identifiable information stored in a computer. Now, what do I mean by personal identifiable information? As we've discussed even in the past webinars, personally identifiable information is information which could be your name, could be your email address, could be your credit card number, could be your government identity number, could be a password to your email account, could be your social media login credentials, could be your company database access information login credentials, could be a lot of things. All information that can be personally identifiable will be said as come under the purview of data privacy concerns. Now, improper or non-existent disclosures control can be the root cause of privacy issue. Data privacy issues arise in response to information from a wide range of sources. Now, let's make this webinar a little interesting. Why don't we begin with a poll? Let me bring up the poll for you. Should you be careful of all personal information you post online? As we discussed personally identifiable information, should you be careful of all your personal information you post online? This information could consist of the personal identifiable information, which is your personal information, or could be information about your company, information that's been shared by the organization that you're associated with for your work-related daily routine. What does today's audience think about this kind of information? Should you be careful about it to be posted online, or should you not? I'll have another. We have about 75% of today's audience casted their vote. We'll wait for another 5 seconds before I close this opinion poll and share the results with you. Okay, I'm now going to close this opinion poll, and I'm also going to share the results of the opinion poll with you. 92% people in today's audience think that you need to be very, very careful about your personal information when you post it online. Audience, pat your back, because this is exactly what you should be doing. You need to be very careful, because any information that is personally identifiable information is your personal identity. And when you lose this information out to public, this becomes a concern of identity theft. So when you talk about such information, you need to be very, very careful. Let's proceed further. So what information comes under privacy concerns? Internet data, which is basically your email IDs, passwords, your browsing history. So the ability to control the information one reveals about oneself over the internet. This comes under the internet data. These concerns include whether an email could be stored or read by a third party without consent, or whether third parties can continue to track the websites someone has visited. Now, mind you, when I talk about third parties, I'm talking about agencies, or I'm talking about people outside the purview of your regular work. These people are other than you, whom you know. In order to give you, in order not to give too much of personal information, emails needs to be encrypted. Browsing of pages as well as other online activities to be done traceless, or via anonymizers, which will not leave any traces of websites that you have visited. Email isn't the only internet use that concerns privacy. Everything accessible over the internet nowadays comes under the privacy concerns. However, a major issue with privacy relates to social networking. For example, there are millions of users who use Facebook, and the regulations have changed. People can be tagged in photos, or can have valuable information exposed to themselves, either by choice or most of the time unexpectedly by others. It is important to be cautious of what is being said over the internet and what information is being displayed, as well as photos which are being shared with or without your consent. Coming to the next one, medical records. So a person may not wish for the medical records to be revealed to others. This may be because they have concerns that it might affect their insurance coverage or employment, or it may be because they do not wish for others to know about their medical or psychological conditions or treatments which they would be embarrassing. Revealing medical conditions could also reveal other details about one's personal life. There are three major categories of medical privacy: informational, which is the degree of control over personal information; physical, the degree of physical inaccessibility to others; and psychological is where the doctor respects the patient's cultural beliefs, inner thoughts, values, feelings, religious practices, and allows them to make their personal decisions. Physicians and psychiatrists in many cultures and countries have standards for doctor-patient relationships, which include maintaining confidentiality. In some cases, the physician-patient privilege is legally protected. These practices are in place to protect the dignity of patients and to ensure that patients will feel free to reveal complete and accurate information required to them for corrective treatment. Financial data. Information about personal individuals' financials, including the amount of assets, position of stocks, of funds held, outstanding debts, purchases, these can be sensitive. In criminal if criminals gain access to such financial data or financial information like your bank account numbers, your credit card numbers, this individual could be a victim of identity theft or fraud. Information about a person's purchases can reveal a great deal of information about the person's history, as places like he or she has visited, whom he or she has contacted, or products that he or she has used, or activities or habits one is associated with, or the medications that one is undergoing. In some cases, corporations might wish to use this information to target individuals with marketing customized towards individuals' personal preferences, something which a person may or may not approve. Coming to the next one, locational data. As location tracking capabilities are possible in the mobile devices, this also becomes an increasing concern to all of them. There are problems that are related to users' privacy that arise. Location data is indeed amongst the most sensitive personal data, professional data, which could be inferred from an individual knowingly from his mobile or mobility traces of places that he's recently visited. These include the movements of competitors' sales force, attendance of a particular religious place, or an individual presence in a hotel or a place of a particular importance. Political privacy. This has been a concern since voting systems emerged in the ancient times. The secret ballot is the simplest and the most widespread measure to ensure political views of any person are not revealed to anyone or everyone. In fact, where other rights of privacy do not exist, this type of privacy very often does. Educational privacy. A child's school life includes exam results, attendance, teachers' assignments, or even characteristics could be available, with third-party organizations being responsible for anonymizing any publications themselves. Rather than the data being used by the government beforehand, this way the data could be used as a if the data is used this way, this could lead to a direct impact on the individual's personality, and so such data sharing needs to be carefully and scrutinizedly done. Last, we're talking about cable televisions. The ability to control information over what cable channels are being viewed, or what cable channels are being seen. Tracking of these TV programs can also reveal information about personal choices, and therefore such a kind of information can also be used without a person's consent, and this also becomes a privacy concern. What are the common sources of data information? Healthcare or hospital records. So these are institutions which maintain your medical history. Financial institutions and transactions, institutions or banking institutions which take care of your financial transactions and keep a record of your financial history. Residence of geographic records which are available with the government. Location-based services, which is done through various mobile applications these days. Browsers used by mobile phones or browsers used in the desktop computers often do store the information of the websites that you visited. Television viewing records could be the sources of your information, privacy information about what channels you watch. Let's pick up another poll, because this brings me an important privacy concern for a lot of people. Banking or shopping online using free or public Wi-Fi networks can allow hackers to steal your personal information and financial information. What do you think? Is it true? Is it false? Mind you, you're using your personal device, which could be your handheld device, which is your smartphone, or which could be a laptop, which could be your iPad, or which could be your tablet PC, which is very popular these days, do banking or financial transactions using a public Wi-Fi. When I mean a public Wi-Fi, I'm talking about an insecure network. So what do you think? Is it possible that a hacker can steal your personal or financial information? We have about 60% of today's audience cast their vote. I would wait for another 10 seconds before the audience completes today's voting. This is very interesting data that I'm getting from you people regarding the education of data privacy that you already possess with you. I will now close the poll for you and reveal what are the results of today's opinion poll. This is fantastic. People, please pat your backs, because this is exactly what you shouldn't be doing. Never access your financial data or your banking information or do any banking transactions in unsecure public Wi-Fi using a personal device. Never do that, because there are a high chances, if a hacker wants, he may be able to steal your information, and you may be a victim of identity theft. Moving forward, the most brutal data breaches of 2014. 2014 we have all witnessed. This year there have been major hacking attacks where not only individuals but institutions and which are large corporations have lost data, which is compromised not only the security of themselves but also the security of their customers. Let's see which one of them. You must all be hearing the news about Sony Pictures and the attack on Sony Pictures in the month of November 2014. What was the size of the attack that was done? Over 1000 GB of data was stolen. This is an information that was published worldwide on national and international televisions, also in tabloids and magazines. DVD screeners of movies which are yet to be released, those were leaked. Contact details of Hollywood stars were compromised. Other sensitive information like employee salaries, internal communications was stolen. Attack on Sony, the estimated is around 100 million US dollars. JP Morgan Chase, the biggest bank in the United States of America, JP Morgan Chase system was breached by hackers. JP Morgan apparently neglected to upgrade one of its network servers with the dual password scheme. Hackers stole the login credentials of a JP Morgan employee. The financial information of over 76 million households and 7 million small business were compromised. Information included physical address and email addresses of individuals. The next one was eBay. We've already spoken about eBay even in our last webinar. This is one of the biggest data breaches of all time. For people who don't know about eBay, eBay is one of the largest portals on which people do online shopping. Now, this was the biggest attack on eBay. Information including email addresses and encrypted passwords was stolen for more than 145 million users. Now, when I say 145 million, I'm actually talking about some 14 crore users whose information was stolen. Stolen information included physical addresses as well as email addresses. So when I say physical addresses, I mean postal addresses and email addresses. And the statement that was issued by eBay said that this data breach included only non-financial data. So financial data of the customers like credit card numbers and bank account numbers, those wasn't compromised. eBay urged customers to set new passwords after this breach was revealed. Other major data breaches in 2014, Snapchat, in which 98,000 files, approximately 13 GB of photos and videos, was stolen and posted on file sharing channels. Home Depot, which had about 53 million email addresses and 56 million credit card accounts, were compromised for retailers' data. iCloud, which is the Apple product, had about 500 images of Hollywood celebrities stolen from Apple's data sync services and later were made their way on popular social networks. Nvidia Corporation suffered a data breach when hackers infiltrated their network and stole employee usernames and passwords. MCOR Services, Mesa Energy Systems. MCOR notified individuals of data breach when the company laptop was stolen that contained customers' personal information that included names, social security numbers. This is a personal identifiable information for people in the United States. Date of births, date of hiring, addresses, salaries, genders, ethnicity, everything was stolen. Morgan Stanley, an employee stole customer information from approximately 3.5 lakh clients, including account numbers. Nokia informed customers of data breach into the system on July 18th till October 28, 2014 by hackers who gained access to their servers that hosted their website. That brings me to another interesting module. Let's see what people think about this opinion poll. What feature helps protect your online accounts from unauthorized users? I'll repeat the question for you. What feature helps protect your online account from unauthorized users? There's two-step verification method. The logging out from your account or using an easy to remember password, which is a name in general cases. Mind you, two-step verification method is something that we very commonly see with the Google accounts, where after you've entered a username and password, OTP is sent to OTP. When I say OTP, I mean a one-time password, which is sent to your mobile phones so that you can enter and then enter your account. We have about 60% of today's audience casted their vote. We'll wait for another 5 seconds before I close this opinion poll and share the result with you. Logging out of your account simply means that once you're done with your work on the particular account, you just log out from there, and using an easy to remember password, something like your name as a password, is what a lot of people do. Which of them is the question? Is which of the features do you think will protect your online account from unauthorized users? I'm now going to close the opinion poll and share the results with you. Again, well done audience. 90% of today's audience feel that the two-step verification method is the most secure, and yes, you are correct. Two-step verification method, as I advised earlier, is the most secure method. Logging out of your account will not ensure that you are safe, and it's a no. Never use an easy to remember password. Always please remember to use a very strong password. Now let's proceed further and see what is the Indian scenario for when it comes to data privacy. India is a key threat frontier, ranking to the third highest source of overall malicious activity. 69% of targeted attacks in India focus on large enterprise. This information was published in the magazine Information Week. Nearly 4 of 10 attacks in India were carried out on non-traditional services industries like hospitality, business, and personal services. India is is leading when it comes to spam. About 9.8% of spam zombies are carried out, and there were more than 96,000 security incidents, including phishing, scanning, spamming, malicious codes, websites, intrusions, etc., were reported to Indian Computer Emergency Team, that is CERDN, in the year 2014. This data is only till the month of September. Let's move forward. There was an Amendment Act that came into picture. We all know there was an Information Technology Act published by the Government of India in the year 2000. That there was an Amendment Act that came in the year of 2008. What does this Amendment Act cover? This addresses the intricacies of data protection in the country. Now, wherever a body corporate possessing, dealing, or handling any sensitive personal data or information in computer resource which owns shall be liable to compensate the person so affected via privacy breaches. So anyone who possesses such information or deals or handles such information, if there has been a breach, will be liable to pay damages. Although this data protection provisions is only limited to the geographical territories of India, since this is an act of India, but in case the data is outsourced to India, this act protects the provisions for it. Let's move forward. These are the common data breaches techniques that happen. This generally happens with large corporates or enterprise companies, where a maximum number, like 75% of incidences are there where the person inside the company reveals or steals such data, and that causes privacy concerns. Other things was theft of data bearing devices, phishing attacks, social engineering attacks, which is hacking of personal identifiable information. SQL injection is again a technique wherein a code is maliciously put into the website or so that a person can get into or sneak into the computer network and steal data. Let's move forward. I have another opinion poll for you. Let's see what has this poll has to. This is a very tricky question, mind you, audience. So please think before you cast your votes. Which devices are the most vulnerable to theft and loss? Desktop computers, laptops, tablets and smartphones, or servers? Please think before you cast your votes. Which devices are the most vulnerable to theft and loss? Which devices can be lost or stolen easily? Is it the desktop computers? Is it laptops, tablets and smartphones, or is it servers? We have about 50% of today's audience cast their vote. I would wait for some more time. I would give the audience some more time to cast their votes today. Let's see what they have to say. Okay, I will now close the opinion poll and share the results with you. Very correctly, desktop computers and servers are the least have the least chances of being stolen, but laptops, tablets and smartphones can easily be stolen. So pat your backs, audience, that was a correct answer. Let's move forward. Let's go to the do's and don'ts to protect your data privacy. Now, mind you, audience, we have talked about how data gets stolen or what happens to data that gets stolen, but now let's focus on how can you protect this data. Be thoughtful about what you post online about yourself or your friends. Tagging of photos, sending out messages that, hey, I'm going on a vacation to Kerala from this date to this date, will actually tell people that nobody is at home, and this will be an open invitation for burglars to come and do the robbery. So don't post such personal information about your vacation plans to people. You can simply say that you're planning to have a good time, but without revealing much of details. I would leave the judgment on the quite thoughtful and intelligent audience of today. Share your full name, date of birth and phone number, physical address only if it is necessary. The passwords that you use for creating accounts, these passwords needs to be strong. When I say it needs to be strong, it needs to have a mix of uppercase, lowercase letters, numbers, special characters, so that it becomes difficult for a person to guess the password. Don't use your first name and your date of birth as a password, because those passwords can easily be stolen. Always ignore any unknown or unexpected communication that comes to you via email, SMS, calls that requires you to act immediately, or information that acts about your personal information. Always use two-step verification for your online accounts. I have already told you what a two-step verification for your online account is. Banking, shopping online using free public Wi-Fi networks can allow hackers to steal your personal information, so please do not do that. Before installing any app on your smartphone, review the permissions carefully. Always password protect your mobile device, laptop or tablet. This comes as an inbuilt feature, especially with the Android devices. Protect your important data by taking regular backups, so that in case your data is lost or stolen, you can be ready with the data to be transferred to a new device that you may buy. Always log out, sign out of websites once you have done working with it. Now, these are the steps that you can follow, which will ensure that you can be safe for your personal data, which is on your personal device. Let's see, how does Quick Heal help you in protecting your data privacy. Now, Quick Heal has an ingenious advanced DNA scan technology, which has a behavior detection system included. So any malicious file that comes, or any file that is in your computer, is scanned by the Quick Heal's DNA scan technology to know the behavior of the file. So this helps the software in understanding if the file is genuinely good or a malicious file. Safe banking, a newly introduced feature in the Quick Heal software. This feature is designed to protect your online banking activities from fraudulent websites and malicious programs that steal your financial information. Core protection is basically the protection that we provide, which includes your antivirus, anti-spyware, programs that spy your activities on a computer, anti-malware. Malwares are bad files which which are bad for your computer, so we have an anti-malware in it. Anti-rootkit, firewall protection, and self-protection. These are the basics of core protection, which help you in fighting against attacks where your data can be breached. Firewall, a very important component of the Quick Heal antivirus. This compromises of stealth mode. When it is switched on, your PC becomes invisible in the network. This prevents the hackers from tracing your system and attacking it. Vulnerability scanner, this is a proactive antivirus feature that notifies you of critical security vulnerability that can be used by hackers to compromise your PC and the data stored in it. Browser sandbox. Browser sandbox is a secure interface. We already have done an extensive webinar on browser sandbox. It is available to be seen on our YouTube channel. Browser sandbox is a secure interface where running your web browser in a sandbox keeps away the bad files from entering your system. It's it remains in a test environment. Web security, it's a real-time cloud-based security, restricts access to malware-infected, fraudulent, or phishing websites. Email security is a cloud-based email security, prevents spam, phishing, or infected emails from reaching your inbox. Data theft protection prevents unauthorized copying of data using your flash drives. Privacy protection, it securely deletes sensitive data files to prevent recovery by any recovery tools. So when I talk about data privacy, it means protecting your data from being stolen. Say for example, I don't want a particular data to be present in my computer. Say for example, I bought a new laptop for myself and I have personal, very important data about myself in my old laptop. I would never want this data to be sent out or to anybody else or to be shared by anybody else. So I, using Quick Heal, would be able to securely delete those files so that nobody would be able to recover those files. Safe mode protection is the facility that stops unauthorized users from changing Quick Heal security settings when the software is running in a safe mode. The most important feature that I would like to talk about today, beyond this, is Track My Laptop services. Now, this is a initiative that Quick Heal has done. It's a corporate social initiative where we can help trace lost or stolen laptops. Quick Heal Track My Laptop service helps the track whereabouts of a stolen device, stolen laptop. This service is a social initiative that comes with every desktop product of Quick Heal at no extra cost. Kindly note, Quick Heal users have to register their Quick Heal product license key at Track My Laptop portal to avail this facility. Non-Quick Heal users can have to register their laptop's MAC ID or MAC ID. To know more about this, please visit trackmylaptop.net. This brings us to the end of this webinar. Thank you very much for your time and patience. I think I've gone a little overboard in explaining data privacy in today's webinar. As I said earlier, in case you have any questions, please write to us at corporatecommunications@quickheal.co.in, and we will be more than happy to answer these questions for you. If you want more information about our upcoming webinars, please follow us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/quickhealav. You can also follow our Twitter handle, which is twitter.com/quickheal. For all webinars that we have done in the past, you can visit our YouTube channel to see the video recordings of all the webinars. The YouTube channel address is youtube.com/quickheal. If you want to see the presentations for today's webinar as well as the webinars that we have hosted in the past, please visit slideshare.net/quickhealppts. It's slideshare.net, this spelled the regular way, Quickheal PPTs. If you want to know more about Quick Heal products, please visit quickheal.com. If you want to know more about the interested information that we published through our blog post, please visit us at blogs.quickheal.com. I will now hand over the mic to Rajiv to conclude today's presentation.
Thank you all for being with us at this webinar. We hope the webinar has helped you understand data privacy better. Have a good day ahead and see you at the next webinar.